Um, First half we weren't near it in terms of tackling. We weren't near it in terms of game plan. Um, it was a poor half from us the first half. It took us too long to react. But when we got back into the second half, and then once we started to actually exact the game plan, we found lots of spaces that we needed to occupy and create some chances. Look, obviously the goal at the end, we started to have more momentum towards the end. But I think, look, it's an intimidating place to come, and it's a place where the players knew exactly what they needed to do. We were slightly off at moments, and so paid for that first half. Two really poor goals from our perspective, so something that we'd like to, obviously cut out. But yeah, look, we just can't give teams, especially in their backyard, as much time as we gave them in the first half to kind of not dictate the game, because I didn't think they were very good either. So it just became a little bit of a non-game in the first half, but they had the better of it. I think we can correct that. I think it's an attitude, Julia, to be honest, and not that we have a bad attitude towards it. I don't mean that at all. But it's about, in the moment, you've got to exact the attitude. And with a 50-50 duel, you have to have more aggression than the opponent. And so you've got to prepare yourself to be really railroaded, like you're going to be knocked off the ball. So you've got to prepare early. If you don't, and you don't get to the ball and you let them play, then it loses that. So I think, look, it's a momentary attitude, and unfortunately it can get infectious. But that's vice versa. So if we feel that we're in those aggressive moments, then we can be aggressive and win the ball equally. So I just think, look, it's a momentary thing for us tonight. I don't think that I know we're going to be talking about that when we review the game, and almost like tactically, we knew exactly how to beat them. But if you miss the kind of moments of the game like that, then you can never be in it tactically. So for us, we've got to watch them and just prepare. It's an individual preparation that you're gonna. It's some of these, if you don't prepare yourself physically for that moment, and you end up losing out on it. So it's just something that we'll continue to talk about and work on in training. I don't know, Austin. Really, I think. Look, it's the players have to find that momentary thing. One of the factors is that the players can't hear the instructions all of the time. So when they're talking to each other, they have to be a little bit sharper in the information that they give. Because when we were just able to lend the ball, we got through their gaps pretty easy. Portland play a diamond, so you have to play around the diamond. And then we just, one of those moments where we don't have that quality to switch when we need it. We don't have the speed to switch when we need it. So I think, slow start or not, I think it's that moment was something we can fix. So these are fixables, and it's something that we will keep reminding. So we keep watching, we keep working, and show these players that look, your attitude is so commendable in the second part. We just need to start in that manner, and it's something that we can make a real assessment of and really kind of focus on it. But I'm not overly alarmed by that at all. I just think that we need to get the lack of, we need to take away any fear of the opponent that we're playing against in the individual moments, and just go and impose ourselves. Once we have that attitude to impose, we can beat any team in this league. I have no doubt about that. She's great. Look, obviously you saw Ali Krieger move to the right hand side. She's been really good at centre half, especially on the defensive transition. Amy will need a little bit of time, Julie. You know this from being in and around, that to throw somebody in is difficult. Tonight, ideally, we didn't really want to throw Kylie into a position as well like that. So, but that they've both come through with commendable performances, albeit not as smooth as they probably would have liked from their performance. But Amy was excellent in terms of, she's going to get to grips with the game. So already discussions after the game were the speed and intensity in which a team attacks you. There's no look to build up. There's a look to hit counter-attack spaces quickly. And so considering that she didn't have that, she battled, she was a warrior tonight. And I think, it was nice to see Phoebe come back into that team as well. And it's just getting a cohesion. I think, one of the words that we've all spoke about is that consistency and cohesion with our team. and we haven't, you know, we've put Amy in. So once she's played a few, and once Phoebe's back, and once Marissa's back, we have that consistency back to where we want it to be. So it's a momentary thing, and it's something that will come as we get these players back into ready to start position. What's clear, Austin, I think the start of the season, you know, we want to be in playoffs, and we want to make sure that we're pushing to the top end of the league. Of course we do. But we have to also understand that this is the first, this is the 11th game that this team's played together, and yet we're adapting and adding people in. This is the challenge of this league. It's a unique challenge. But what you do have is that once we've built these, once we go through these teething problems, these players have got the experience to play with each other. I just think that once you've had these games together, once you see them play together, once they've had this exposure together, like Portland have for this team, don't forget, although they have new players in, they've played the Challenge Cup last year together. They've been away for a month together, whereas our players are now coming together. So we're building out the squad. We're building out over a longer period of time, because that was always the plan. And we've had a wonderful start to the season, and we'll continue to eat away at the points total that we want to achieve and grow our consistency. So I'd just stress this will take time to build something that we want that's special. You know, we've had a wonderful start to this season, and we'll continue that. And once we keep building to cohesion, you'll have the pride team that we all want. I think there's a momentary frustration throughout the whole game with just there was a little bit of bias towards some of the decisions. You know, there's some players that are committing 4 and 5 fouls on our players and not being carded. So when we got to that point, I think it was the explanation that we got was that a water bottle was slammed down in anger. But it wasn't towards any official. So, but apparently that's an automatic yellow card if a bottle is thrown down onto the floor. So it was something really minor. Even the referee comes across and explained, look, I have to give you on. It's one of the rules. So that was it. It was literally nothing, Julia. It was just a momentary water bottle thrown onto the floor, literally straight down onto the floor. So we were flummoxed as to why it was even given, to be honest. But if that's one of the rules, then we need to make sure that we'll adhere to those.